Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Two and a Half Salesmen. I'm your host, Mario, together with my phenomenally looking host, Julio, who just keeps better and better, and I officially hate you now. And this is what? Again with the goat's milk and lavender? When will you stop?
I don't know, man. One day I'll plan to be uglier. It's just not today.
That will never happen. That will never happen. Girls, just get in line. There's like 200-meter line in front of his house. Just come with CV. Tell what you can do for my brother
Oh
Julio.
my God.
And then,
Yes. Thanks, Mario. Thanks, Mario.
Cool. So today's guest is a friend of mine here from Serbia.
Wow.
Srba. He is a team lead for an enterprise SDR sales team, if I said that correctly. And we will talk about a very hot topic today, which is how spam, and we mean it in a very broad way, how spam is affecting prospecting.
Wow.
So that's kind of the topic for today. So Srba, welcome to the
Thank you for having me, guys. I just had my hair cut, but I'm still not as pretty as you two gents. So I'm doing my best,
Julio
but
is just
I can do it, it's tough to keep up with you guys. So
whenever I have notification for his posts, and whenever I get a notification on LinkedIn, I just say, "Oh, Julio posted."
Nice.
Great.
Yeah, guys, once again, thanks for having me. Let's talk about SDRs. And, we are obviously in Q4, and we know what that means. We are almost finishing another year. And so it's I believe it's high season for all. We are all pushing to get our numbers in place. The Q4 should be good. It's supposed to be good, but we know what are the challenges, and let's discuss a little bit in more details.
Let's talk about the sales. So Julio, spam. Julio, would you please be so kind to introduce what prompted this topic today, and then we can just weave it in, right?
Of course. Well, look, it's been in the air. A lot of the cold emailing gurus have been talking about the updates from Yahoo, Google, specifically about limits for sending emails out. And there was an actual physical update from Outreach, which is one of the biggest sales engagement platforms today, saying, hey, from February, there'll be limits, which is probably going to send a lot of the cold emailing experts into panic. Although they should have known. And so that will be one. The side topic that we also would like to discuss is that because of AI, we're also seeing this problem apply to LinkedIn. Obviously, I think we all experienced the hello, Mario Kriko, which obviously is an automated message because no one uses name and surname anymore. Or even worse, the robocaller.
Hope this message finds you well.
Can we fucking stop with that, please?
It's so boring. Yeah. That was a recent announcement by Outreach, obviously the major email sequencer. It's most likely they will limit to 5,000 emails per organization per day, which is kind of, obviously changing the name that SDRs will function in future, because it seems like they want to emphasize quality over quantity, right?
Wait. Did you just say cold calling? Again? Reps? Reps cold calling? Wait, what? I didn't...
Right. Yeah, I guess we're gonna start cold calling again, whether we like it or not. And we understand, not all SDRs like to cold call. Let's be very honest.
That's an understatement of a century.
yeah. Nobody does. Nobody especially
does.
This
except for me and Julio, who get off on it.
Yeah, especially Julio.
I mean, we do not like it. Let's be very clear that no one likes cold calling.
I'm okay with it.
You're lying, man.
Yeah, but you are something special, man.
Yeah, exactly.
We talk about you, man. We talk about regular guys, and you never been regular.
Yeah, true.
That's what my wife said.
But look, I do think that there is the major problem with AI that is just this kind of disconnected from humanity, right? Like I think this craving for authenticity, even if it is by getting shut down on sales calls, I think it's something that people miss, you know, and I will see channels. I think the direct mail is definitely already making a comeback, especially in the US, is massive. Conferences and face-to-face referrals,
Pressing the
obviously,
flesh.
yeah, yeah, exactly, like just the actual connection.
Yeah, the actual talking with another human being. I don't think we talked about it before Julia hit record. About the robocall, like AI making calls.
Yeah.
I don't think that will stump. It's gonna be a novelty for a few years.
Yeah.
But then I think every country will just put in laws that says you have to say that you're an AI. And if you want to talk with a human, talk with a fucking human.
Yeah. I even feel, Mario, something like that will happen with the email outreach, that you're gonna have to claim that it's like human SDR who wrote the email, or is it like
I don't think that will happen.
Assistant
not
tool that
enforceable.
somehow supported this email.
How can you control that?
Yeah, that's the problem, is that you can't control that.
You can't regulate it. I mean, it's not a bad idea, but it's the regulation that's kind of bothering me with this.
AI tools are here to stay. So that's the future.
AI is here to become our overlords.
So
let's be honest.
We don't even argue whether or not AI will be here or not. We know it will stay. But people want to interact with other people. So humans want to interact with other humans. And we know there is AI. However, I want to be sure that I was reached out by real human.
So there is I encourage everyone to read this book, and I encourage you to read a book. It's called From Impossible to Inevitable, written by Kevin Kelly, who's a futurist.
Yeah.
And in one of the sentences that's kind of stuck is AI, in however sophisticated, the book was written like a few years back. AI, however sophisticated, will never replace creation of experience. As Julia says, authenticity. Way.
I think it's bullshit.
Because you think it will be able to replace experience?
You can already, if you ask ChatGPT to be quick, you know the temperature level?
Yeah.
If you set a very high temperature level, ChatGPT will say things that you think are so bonkers they could be human. So I think it will be harder and harder to tell what is being created by humans and what is being created by AI. What I do think will become, again, will be the differentiator is the legalities. So I don't think, I think humans are happy to read an email from an AI, but would you want a cold call and not knowing? It's going to be more about the ego. You don't know whether it's a human or a robot. That's the thing that's going to piss them off.
That will freak out people.
I think we touched this point before we start recording. I said to you guys that cold calling is obviously very effective channel. It's almost as human as it gets. And I think we will start doing more cold calls just because of this email regulations. So much LinkedIn automation that we've been seeing lately, and really spamming people. And then going back to cold calling, what I noticed, like for US market at the moment, but that's pretty much all other geographies will follow this trend. There are so many robots making calls at the moment that people tend not to pick up the phone anymore.
Well, we talked about this. I have a genuine statistic, and comes kind of from Zoom Info, which says connect rates are between 1% and 2% when you call individuals. But when you're calling what we consider, if you're at Miller Hyman, the strategic selling, so the users, so the guys that are in operational level, that's close to 10%. That's even over 10%, even higher with human verified leads. So if you just don't export your shit from Zoom Info, but you give it to either Cloud Lead or any of these companies that are doing human verification.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So connect rates are actually never been higher. There is
Yeah,
a reason for that. Everyone
my-
is using email and LinkedIn.
Hang on. But like 1 and 2%, I don't understand. So 1 and 2% is individuals. You mean individuals like my personal phone when someone is trying to call me insurance, tell me
Yes.
insurance? Is that what you?
No,
while-
but okay. So if you're calling into a company,
Mhm.
the probability that an executive will pick up is between 1 and 2%. Right.
Yeah.
So out of 100 calls, you get 2 pickups. So it's calling
Yeah.
connect rates.
Mhm.
However, if you're calling the same companies, but you're calling on the operational level, so the lower level,
Mhm.
the guys that will use your software, that's higher.
Yeah, I can add some statistics. I can tell you from my
Sure.
own SDR outreach. So with the cold calling, this is our statistics. We usually need to call 100 people to get one meeting book. So the success rate is about 1%. And going back to
But this is
I'm
in
gonna-
enterprise, right?
I'm gone. You're talking about
enterprise sales, we are
conversations or dial?
Say again, sorry, Julia.
Conversations or dial?
Conversations.
So 1 out of 100 conversations. Okay.
We get one meeting book and then another sorry about this. I talked about dialers. So out of 100 people that I call, I get 7-8% connect rate. So 7-8 people pick up the phone, and out of those 7-8 conversations, I get one meeting book.
That's
but
fine.
that's okay. That's
So
fine.
that's about
That's good.
That's like
good.
above average results.
That's
That's
about
way
average
above
results, I was
average.
going to say. And, you know, in enterprise sales, we mainly target decision makers. You know, we target them on the cell phones only, right? So we
of
get
course.
7 to maximum 8% connect rate. Out of those 7-8 folks, we get one meeting book.
So,
So
but
that's
and I would like both of you to kind of chime in on this.
Yeah.
So LinkedIn is kind of be super hot, right? Especially in later years, with all of these companies doing automation and then shifting to email automation, all of that shit. So how do you see LinkedIn evolving for top line sales reps, so SDRs or account executives? So how do you see it evolving?
I mean, look, I've got a good friend of mine that's building a company around this. My general view is that we'll see specialization. So the top level sellers will start to post about their niche and their problems. Because right now, what LinkedIn is really useful, is unbeatable for, is the social proof to convert. So often I'll call someone on the blue, they've got no idea who I am. And then I'll be like, keep giving me objections, send me an email, blah, blah. If I can't handle the email objection, I'll tell you what, I'll send you a connection request. As long as you promise to check out 2 of my posts, I'll call you back next week. And that's what it's useful for.
Yeah, I usually ask people this question, like if Elon Musk wrote you a message, would you respond? And pretty much 100% people say yes. So why would they respond to Elon Musk? Because he's not a stranger. And now you don't have to be Elon Musk, right? But if 2 people are not strangers, they tend to have conversations, you know? So the LinkedIn and building personal brand on LinkedIn is really about the following thing. Make sure people know you before you even reach out to them. And this is what Julia just
100%.
said. You really want to build the value for your prospects. And once you establish trust, obviously you can go with a sales pitch. But as long as you are not strangers, they don't talk with other strangers. But friends and people that seem to know each other quite well, they do want to talk, and they want to.
I read like it was I think in the Little Red Book of Sales by Jeffrey Gitomer, and then he did a training session that I kind of caught on audio, and he says people want to buy from friends.
Yeah.
All things being equal, people still want to do business with their friends.
100%.
So
going back to
what I'm seeing LinkedIn, apart from, especially for the social sellers, yes, building a brand and all of those things, fine. But what I'm seeing, and this is what I'm experimenting a little bit for my business, is just sending, like, I'm very huge now on video, and because it's converted so well on LinkedIn. I just lay in my bed, literally in my bed. I go like this, and I shoot a video.
Yeah, but
Coming back, sorry, but just coming back to Julio's point to authenticity.
However, I think that video is not performing well on LinkedIn. You know that LinkedIn is changing algorithm from time to time. And I
meant in a personal message. In a personal message.
In the personal message, that's something different.
Yes.
Sorry, I did not get this part. I thought that you are talking about video overall. And
but videos come back, the algorithm changed again. So there was a point the video was getting slaughtered. Yeah. And now video is coming. Actually looks like they want to turn LinkedIn into the YouTube of business, basically. Which again, look, this world, the other problem that we see on LinkedIn a lot is that you see a lot of AI generated content. You know, like people think it's not that easy to tell, but it is, you know, especially
it's very easy to tell.
Yeah, like a lot of the time, like I actually never use ChatGPT for it, weirdly, just because I've got a lot of ideas. But I see sometimes I look at a post and I'm like, this is so obvious that Taplio wrote it, you know, and people don't catch on to it. But but I mean, you've got way better. There was a point that I was like, Mario, please.
Once I got your feedback on it, I think you really helped me with that. Once I got your feedback on it, I really started using ChatGPT just for ideas, right? So I would put in ideas. I modeled my voice in ChatGPT. I would have it write it based on all of the ideas that I have. And then I would pick and choose, okay, how would I sound if I was saying this? But so then I do heavy editing.
Yeah, you are the one
faster than writing.
Mario, you just said a really good thing. So you do use the help of AI tool and GPT, but at the end, it's you who make the final touch, right? You really pick the points 100%. That really kind of resonate with you, and you just don't copy paste the whole thing, right? So that's the most important thing. Going back to video on LinkedIn, I think that's a great way to stand out from the crowd. Yeah, that makes sense. And just the same that we do like a short video, like lead or links when sending email outreach, we do like a voice prospecting on LinkedIn. So once
I do voice drops all the time. That's
voice
my favorite.
drops are very good, the same way as the videos. So those are really voice prospecting, video prospecting. Those are really great. This is how you really can differentiate yourself from AI tools.
Do you know what's even better for voice drops on LinkedIn? It's that if your screen rotates and everyone has kind of the auto rotate, it will stop the video and you have to play it again. So you get to hear my voice several times.
Wow. I was just never too big fan of like cracking LinkedIn algorithm. You know, I may be old school guy. I just never chased.
I just write. I don't care. I just write.
Followers, never chased likes, really. And I see people talking so much about LinkedIn algorithm and what has changed, what has not, and like trying to follow all these things. I think you need to be unique. You know, you need to show your character, you know, and, you know, that's how you build trust. And, you know, I think going back to what we said about LinkedIn.
It's true to some extent, but think about it this way, right? For the audience that we're listening to this, it's not good advice, right? It's like talking to someone about, you want to get better at cold calling, just be unique. And then people will start saying all type of shit.
No, don't be unique. But this is the first thing.
It can work to some extent, not everything, you know.
Okay. So the first lesson I got from Justin, because you both probably know Justin, still works for me.
Everybody knows this guy.
Yeah. Well, he's been my coach from September, and I've learned so I can literally level up.
Are you really paying that much?
I am paying that much, yes.
Wow, fucking hell, man. Okay.
I don't. It will come back tenfold.
I hope so.
I don't hope I know. Anyway, but the first thing when he listened to my call calls is you gotta ditch your personality and your energy on the call. Just be super flat, clear, not dead, but like it's called the principle of disinterest.
I
Right,
mean,
like super flat tone. And I said, fuck, like I've been doing call calls like this my entire life.
I think that's a terrible advice.
I
And it worked. I got
fully
way
either.
better when I went with flat tone.
Yeah, because psychologically you needed this probably, but I don't think that not letting your personality into. Look, I don't know who you're calling, right? Maybe if you're calling IT directors of cybersecurity companies, which are going to be, I'm making a whole huge assumption, maybe they're most outgoing people ever. But I actually, I think it's okay to start neutral because you haven't heard what the other person is like. But my humorous opener, I was testing today 21 calls, only 2 people were like no. So I got 90% permission based okay.
So what's your humorous opener?
My humorous opener is like it's either like you're probably gonna hate me. I'm actually a salesperson. Do you want to throw your phone out the window or let me have 30 seconds? It's up to you. Or it's like, I'm probably going to ruin your Tuesday afternoon. I'm a salesperson. And I replace a salesperson. It's a sales call because like I'm a person and people are a bit more worried to hang up on a person, right?
But
so
it's look, I would now argue, and you and I had a lot of debates about PBO, man. Yeah. And of course, we are getting this conversation derailed. As
poor Serba is gonna have to listen to one of our
Serba, we do this all the time. We just say one topic and we shit about something else.
I watched some of your episodes.
But I would argue that although your opener sounds like a PBO, it's not actually a PBO. This is a very ballsy opener. Like you say, dude, I'm a salesperson, fucking deal with it, shit, or get off the pot. This is what you're basically saying with your attitude, with your confidence.
Yeah.
You transitioned off the PBO because inherently the true PBO lowers the status. That's the problem.
Mate,
but in this case,
this is some JMM bullshit that I will not stand on in a podcast. Man, like it just is like.
But your opener is not a PBO.
Status, like people want to deal with people, not with arrogant assholes. Okay, so like, I'm not gonna listen to that.
Come on.
I've had this conversation with JM on the chat.
I do Joe Mama jokes on calls, which
fine. I'll
deal with this,
but I still think it's bullshit.
Guys, we talk about calling, and I think that's the only channel that will not be effective with the spamming limits that we just mentioned from beginning.
Sure, let's go back to topic.
Yeah, I think that the real problems lie with email outreach and LinkedIn outreach.
Since you run an enterprise sales team, so how do you see salespeople evolving to, let's say, adjust to this new reality? Or, even better, there are now a lot of organizations that have cold callers, that have social media sellers, and they have people just doing email. Fine. So how do you see those organizations adjust to this new reality?
I mean, I'm always in favor of multi-channel prospecting. You know, this is for
me too. Agreed.
I never think of any separate channel or like having different teams, like one team doing cold calling and then the other team, I don't know, doing emails or anything like that. You know, I think all SDRs should have a full control of outbound cycle. And that means really like being active on all 3 channels. And yes, I mean, not all channels are performing the same. Not all accounts are the same. Not all geographies are the same. So we do see changes from time to time. For example, I mean, 6 months ago, emails were really kind of, you know, I'll give you again stats. Like 6 months ago, we were getting like 60, maybe even 70% open rates. and we would probably get 10, maybe even 15% reply rates, which are, you know, for enterprise sales, pretty good
That's
numbers.
pretty
you know?
good. That's pretty good.
Pretty
Yeah,
good
yeah.
numbers. Yeah,
That's
now
good, actually.
Yeah.
that's going
yeah.
like now open rates are like 30%. Anything higher than that is like awesome. And then reply rates are like less than 5%.
Well, let me tell you this. So the way I measured is I would measure reply rates across accounts,
Sure, sure.
right?
that
So
makes sense.
if I do call, email, LinkedIn,
yeah,
so I
Okay.
do triples, right? So omni-channel
Yeah.
triples.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of triples.
Agree.
What I would do then is I would measure replies across accounts,
yeah,
not across channels, because
Yeah.
I would do omni-channel anyway.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So then I would,
absolutely.
and then my open rates, and I have screenshots document my open rates and my teams were between 60 and 80%.
Yeah.
Reply rates on emails almost zero.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually look, something for you both that because I recently implemented the outbound system for a company, and we did something a bit cheeky, which is basically we would leave a voicemail, and the next step of the sequence was an email subject voicemail, right?
Oh, via
And
voicemail. I did that as well.
yeah, like, and I just always say like voice or missed call if it was a missed call, because it depends, right? And then then the voicemail would be, hey, don't worry, don't need to return this. I'm about to drop you an email explaining why. And I would get like very high open rates as well because of that.
And you can in the what I would do in a voicemail is I would say, what is the subject line of the email that I'm writing? So
Yes.
look for the
Yeah.
email with a subject line
Yeah.
missed call, or
How do you guys
dropping
make
call.
sure you don't end up in the spam folder?
That's
Oh,
that's always the problem, right?
We talk about value
Yeah,
proposition.
I guess so. In the past, I had sales ops guys that were just taking care of that.
Yeah.
I would always point him to Jesse Roulette, and whatever Jesse was, he was kind of he is on a forefront of it. And I would say, just look what this guy's saying. Just set up my server.
Do you guys use multiple domains for email outreach,
No,
for example?
no. I don't. I never use that because we were always, my teams were always phone first, but omni-channel. So I never used.
But I've literally seen it recently that because we were making so many calls, like the guys were making like two people 300 calls a day. And then the problem is in the first step of the sequence, they would all get an email as well. So they started to go from sending like 100 emails to sending like 300 emails a day, right? And then like we seen that the open rate was dropping, and we see the IP domain was dropped as well. So I would always recommend having backup and using warmers.
Well, that's
using multiple domains. And tell me, like,
that's a spam.
You guys sending automated emails, those 300, that's a big number for one SDR on a daily basis.
150 each, 150 each.
150, but that's no way they were personalized, right?
Yeah, and well, that's the other problem, right? Like now you got to do things with spin tags, which look, and by the way, sorry, let's something important is that email is not gonna be killed. Yeah, let's not get stuck in all the. It's just gonna be a lot more personalized, but don't get me wrong, it's not like AI is not gonna find a way around this, because there will be. So like it's just going to be different set of rules, exactly as it started to happen after COVID, when everyone went working from home and calling into the office, where you were like, oh, fuck, who am I going to sell to now? No one is here.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
That's my thing was, we talk so much about, the value proposition and how our emails should look like. We are looking for a short subject line, kind of short emails. So but email deliverability has become a hot subject lately, right? And, like if you're not ending in the mailbox, I mean, you can craft the highly personalized email. There is nobody who's going to open that email, right? If it goes in the spam. So I think when talking about email and spam issue overall, with the email outreach, first thing you need to kind of make sure you have email deliverability set right in place, right?
I would say that, look, I talked to a lot of people who did deliverability, and
Yeah.
it's not like there's 1,000 things that you can do. It's like you set up the technical 3 things, then you get like probably one of the things that everyone should do is remove the HTML from the signature. No one cares. No one reads the signatures. No one books meeting for signatures. Can we please remove the Calendly invite from every single signature? But what if they want to book a meeting? They'll reply to your bloody email.
You know, the first email, why is it called cold email? Cold email or first email. The idea is not to book the meeting, but to start conversation. Yeah. And even better, the first idea, the first main goal is really to end up in the mailbox, first of all, right?
Yeah.
And then with the second email and the second follow-up email, you can do more. You can add attachments, signature, probably link, whatever you need to add. But with the first one, you remove all those things that really make you go to
Dude,
spam.
I remember a lot of years ago, I was talking with this giant corp, like this media company in US, and they finally get around, okay, we want to test you, we want to do like a run, like all of those things. And I say, okay, cool, well, let me shoot an invite to all of you. And then no one replies to my call, and I pinged the guy on, I had him on the phone, and I call him and I say, hey, I'm sorry, we were supposed to have like a kickoff meeting in 2 days, but no one is no one accepted. Said, well, you didn't send an email. Said, I sent an email, a follow-up email, and then I sent an invite. Said, and it ended up like these guys, we were talking, and my invites ended up in the spam. So they had to bring in the entire IT team, well, not entire, but their IT to kind of sort this fucking out. And they wanted to talk to us. Imagine if someone doesn't want to talk to you.
This is particularly bad on Microsoft, by the way. Like Microsoft is so much harsher with spam filters. It's like
that's true. That's true. We've been lately, we are using Gmail and Outlook for our email outreach, right? So it's like two major domains, and you can tell the difference, right? We have a better success when sending, like, let's say, emails from Outlook to certain accounts, and then vice versa when we are sending from Gmail. So we are really never certain. And, you know, going back to tech sales overall, like curiosity over being right, you always have to be curious. You always have to kind of test and experiment, because I have no clue why I'm like going to spam when sending my emails from Gmail, and then when sending from Outlook, everything seems to be working just fine. I have no clue.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And it's crazy. So kind of you are always taxing, but you are right, Giulio. Microsoft is way more, let's say, harsh on this. And
they're really hard to deal with.
And if you think that OpenAI/ChatGPT, who is owned by Microsoft, won't develop tools to detect their own work in spam, think fucking again.
Of course. Well, it's like, what is it? Bayer, right? They went and bought Monsanto. They were giving people cancer and then curing it. That's how it works.
Yeah. How do you feel if this, let's say, it was just released probably a couple of days ago by Outreach, but that's pretty much everybody else will follow. If they really limit email outreach by 5,000 emails per org per day,
they're just gonna set up different organization.
Yeah, they're just gonna be differently.
They're just gonna be like, we are LLC, they are limited. Like you'll have a service in India that will set up with 5 organizations. This is one thing that we can rely on in capitalism. As soon as there's a problem, someone will come up a solution to fix it. Boom.
Oh, so you are from Germany and have a .de domain? Okay, well, let's buy every other domain for every other country so you can keep spamming in every other country under every other domain.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, guys, this was a very, very good talk. Sort of at the end of every podcast, let's do kind of a wrap up. And then we will give you like 30 seconds to do whatever promo you want, and then we will sign off. So final thoughts on mitigating spam or the influence of spam in outreach?
Saba, you go first.
Our cadences have probably 10 to 12 touch points, right? And with every next step, you need to add more value. If you keep repeating yourself, that's what's called spamming. If you keep adding value for your ICP, then that's not considered spamming unless your prospect tells you, hey, stop spamming me. Then you understand you are kind of spamming. So you just need to keep adding value. That would be my take.
That's a good advice. Julia?
Right. I'll go with something a bit more underdog from my perspective, because sometimes if you work in a small organization, adding value at each step, it's not necessarily always so easy to figure out how to do, like a case study, cheat sheet, insights, etc. So I'm always of the idea that as long as you're standing out, and this could be by coming across a bit crazy or doing something a bit unique, like it can also work. And I think this is the authenticity we discussed. So build your personal brand, use quirky openers, it doesn't matter what methodology you use, but just stand out from what everyone else is doing.
Yeah,
that's great advice.
I wanted to say the same fucking thing, which is just, I don't want to say be more human, but it's all about how can you serve better whatever niche you are in. So the question that every seller should be asking, how can I serve more? How can I serve people more? That would be my 2 cents.
That's a good
question. Just really being passionate about helping your prospects.
Yes,
that's what make difference between top performers and regular ones. Really being passionate about solving problems and helping your prospects, not just thinking about your bonuses and whether you're going to hit the quota or not for the next quarter, but really thinking how you're going to help your prospects.
Yes.
Then you will find a way to stand out from the crowd.
30-second promo. You can promote for 30 seconds, whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't want to self-promote, but I'll tell you this, we talk about spamming and I don't want to scare off all my SDRs. I just, guys, want to tell you something, now I'm addressing this to SDRs. You don't have to be best with cold calling. You don't have to craft the highly personalized emails, but you have to be consistent, which means you guys gonna have to hit numbers day by day. You always want to build your pipeline. And so you're going to start with the quality, with the quantity maybe at the beginning. And then as you progress, as you become better, you will start thinking about quality. So at one moment, you want to build your pipeline. So the quantity is important. And then you're going to figure out the way with the personalization and with other methods, how you're going to create quality of your pipeline. So consistency, guys. And one final thought from my side, being consistently good is better than being occasionally great.
I like
True.
that.
Keep that in mind, guys. Consistency will make you a top performer. You don't have to be the best, but you have to be consistent.
Good. I like that.
Thank you very much for joining us. This was a very good episode. And thank you for agreeing in such short notice. So I know we were.
It's always good, guys, to chat with you. Always good.
So everyone, please make sure to follow Serba. He posts great content related to SDR and top of the funnel. So make sure to follow him on LinkedIn. And until next time, go and sell. What can I tell you? Have a great day. Bye.
Enjoy. Ciao, ciao.